like you're saying, Coach, the Steelers, they got to have something. I mean, you start looking at their team offensively, and you go, "What is the strategy here?" And if Aaron Rodgers is going to be the fix it for this strategy, I would question that too. I mean, so you're going to have Mason Rudolph as your starting quarterback. You're going to have DK Metcalf, who you played all this money to. You're going to have a rookie running back coming in, and Caleb Johnson, and you're just going to hope for the best. I mean, even if you put Aaron Rodgers into this equation, I still don't feel great about it. So when you look at Pittsburgh, what are they thinking? What are they doing right now?
I'm not sure, and to me that's the problem. Last year at this time, I was excited about the Steelers. I felt like they brought in a couple of quarterbacks who had potential. Hey, you can work with Russell Wilson and develop your young guy, and you can be in good shape. Now, take those two guys away. We've got neither one of those quarterbacks. Our number one running back is not there. Our number one receiver is not there, and we weren't good enough last year on offense. So I don't know where we're going. I don't know what the plan is. Hopefully it'll take shape, but I'm scratching my head right now.
And
Yeah.
within all of that, it's like we said, they have an opportunity for a 1 year rental. To Rodney's point, with a great talent, and they decide that he's not even worth that. He's not even worth a low payment opportunity for a contract year. He's such a pain in our butt that he's not even worth that. And so that is where I start going, what did Dallas really get here? And I know it's at a low price and all those things, but if Tomlin decides in this sort of a desperate looking offense, it's still not worth it, I'd be worried if I'm Dallas. Go ahead, Rod.
Yeah, I just once again, I just think that you get a chance to see the talent. It's no different than the research that you do when you're drafting a guy. Whether it's in the first round, third round, or the fifth round, you have to do your due diligence. And I just think, yeah, maybe it's desperation, but at the same time, you tell me there's a lot of teams that would love to have a young, talented guy like this, and then for him to have to deal with what he dealt with in Pittsburgh. He wants the ball. He wants to make plays, and dealing with the inconsistency and the inconsistent play at the quarterback position. All the different offensive coordinators. Are they going to run the football? Are they going to pass the football? It's been a mess in Steelers Nation. It's been an absolute mess, Coach. So who, especially a young guy that wants the football, why would he want to be there? And of course, he's not mature enough to handle the moment, so he shows his immaturity and he wants out. I think that was the best move for the Steelers to get rid of him, move on, and continue to pursue a new number two. But for the Dallas Cowboys, man, to me, this is a home run because you get one of the most talented guys in the league at such a cheap price. And like Jack said, you can cut him at any point in time, and it's not going to cost you too much.
It's true. So Coach, let me ask you this. If you're a first-year coach and you're coming in, and he's been an assistant there, talking about Coach Schottenheimer, but now taking over as a head coach, and one of the first things I assume you try to do is establish who and what this is going to be. What are the Cowboys going to be under Coach Schottenheimer? So first, how hard is that? What are you trying to do in year one? And then talk about the variable coming in and Pickens into that locker room.
Yeah, you're setting a culture, no doubt about it. And he's been there, so he's seen how Dallas functions. He knows they've got some talent there. Putting this all together, hey guys, our focus has to be on winning now. We've got to build this team concept. And now you bring in a guy who has a reputation for not being that. Well, you've got to change that around, and maybe the light bulb does go on and it works out great. But that's got to be his concern. Okay, George, you got to fit into us. You're going to be the number two receiver. You're not the star. You're not the guy, but we love you. And now you got to be part of this team. That's what his challenge is going to be.
But I also think too, Coach Brian is saying, hey, CeeDee Lamb is going to get a lot of attention. You're going to have a lot of one-on-one opportunities. And we've seen you. That's why we were so aggressive in coming to get you, because we know that you can beat one-on-one coverage. So I think you can approach it as in your way, but also look at it from that standpoint as far as him saying, hey, CeeDee Lamb's going to receive a lot of attention. You're going to have a lot of one-on-one opportunities. And like I said, he can put up some good numbers. I look at them very similar to what I look at Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think both of those guys could be 1,000-yard receivers, no question.
Mm-hmm. I get the feeling like a big part of this whole, who the Cowboys are going to be, what they're going to look like, what they're going to feel like when we go to Dallas for a Sunday night football game is going to fall on the shoulders of Dak Prescott at this point, because he's going to be the one who's going to have to keep both these receivers happy. He's going to be the one that's going to have to keep the locker room intact. And he's going to have a new head coach who's trying to figure out his land legs leading a program. Would you agree with that, Coach, in terms of how much is going to be on Dak with this move?
I absolutely agree with you. Dak Prescott is going to have to be the leader in that locker room. He's going to have to get everybody together, keep everybody happy. And hey, George, you only got 5 balls this week. I'm going to get more to you next week. You got to stay in here and stay involved. But then the other side of it, now we've seen George Pickens go out on the field and not block. We've seen him loaf. We've seen him not do the things that every team wants. We've seen the spectacular plays. We know what he's capable of. And the question is, George, what are you going to give us? Are you going to give us that star power week in and week out? Or are you going to be the guy that we're all worried about? And the light bulb just has to go on for this kid. If he plays up to his potential, then I agree with you. Dallas did hit a home run.
Yeah, and I'll say with Brian Schottenheimer, I would bring the young man in and just sit him down and say, look, this is what our expectation is. And this is a new Dallas Cowboy team. And this is what our expectation is. We expect you to block. We expect you to do X, Y, Z. And if you don't do those things, we have to have more conversations. But to me, the Dallas Cowboys actually have all the power because they're sitting there. They went out and got the guy, gave him an opportunity. This is second opportunity with a historic franchise. And if he can't make it work in Dallas, most teams will say, you know what, this kid is not worth it. It's going to be over. So really the pressure and the onus is on him to do the right thing, to make the right decisions, to show up. And I just don't think Brian Schottenheimer, he has time. His dad coached me and was a no-nonsense guy, very smart, intelligent coach. And I just think the same thing of Brian Schottenheimer. I used to see him around as well. I think he's a fantastic guy. He's an underrated pick as head coach. And I think he's going to do a solid job.
Give us a sense of playing for his dad, Rodney. What was the day-to-day like? What was his style as a coach?
His dad would come in with this big hat, always had his shirt tucked in, and his dad was very, Coach, just like I know, very, very smart. Like some of the words in the dictionary that he would use, you like, Coach, what did that mean? And he'll laugh. But he's a very intelligent man, tremendous leader, and he's a great communicator. So I think that he gets that well from his dad.
And Brian is the same way. And you said no nonsense, Rodney, and that's what is going to be the key here. Is George Pickens going to fit into that mold? And if he does, again, this could work out great for him.
And Coach, think about it. He's a young player. He's looking at his bank account. He hasn't made that big money. He doesn't have 10, 15, 20 million just sitting in an account. So the pressure is on him. And then what happens too, if you get injured, now you're sitting on the sideline, you're worried about your future. So everything is right here in front of George. He has a new head coach, a new situation. He has an owner that absolutely loved him and said, forget about what everybody else thinks. I'm going to go get this guy. This is the guy that we want. They went and got him for a reason. If he does the right things, if he plays as well as I think he can play, he'll be another guy up for a big contract. But like I said, he looks at his bank account and he doesn't see all those zeros, Coach. I think he's going to be on good behavior.
For sure. I mean, it's a contract year, right? So it's the good side of the contract year is he should be on his best behavior. The other side of it is, right, like Coach's point, he's going to want the ball. I mean, that's what contract year is all about. You want that production to go with it. And Dallas is a place unlike any other where there's going to be tours of the practice facility. I mean, you're going to have people and fans walking around the building. It's like the stars kind of rule the day there from the perspective of that's what it is. I mean, football runs the world down there in Dallas. And so he's going to walk into that and he's either going to embrace it and love it and be a star and fit in with CD and Dak's going to like him, or it's going to be, and I think you're going to know the answer to that question pretty quickly. I think it's going to come pretty quickly, Coach. Don't you think?
I do. And the other side of playing in Dallas that's different in Pittsburgh, everything is magnified. So that big play, that dramatic catch, yes, that's going to be magnified. But when you don't go after the fumble, when you don't block your guy, when you come in late, that's magnified too. Now that's a national story. So we're going to see both sides of it, and we'll see what happens.
And you look at Mike Tomlin, I don't think Mike Tomlin handled the situation right, because when you have a guy that continues to come in, he's late, he doesn't respect you or the team, and he's missing meetings and doing that type of stuff. I don't want him in my locker room. You know what I mean? And now he gets a second chance to really make right and to do the right thing, and that's what I'm excited about. I knew he had some issues in Pittsburgh, and I love when guys get a second opportunity. And I just hope and pray that this guy does the right thing, because he's so ultra talented, coach. And if he does the right thing, he can come in and he could become a superstar. Like you talked about, everything being magnified. If he comes in and he catches 65 passes and eight touchdowns, he's going to be a superstar. And they're going to pay him $25 million a year along with CeeDee Lamb. But if he comes in and he's not doing the right thing and he's late, Schottenheimer is not going to put up with that. This is his reputation on the line. He's a new coach, and you have to handle your ship a lot tighter as a new coach.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.